Hello, this is Greg. I'm joined again by Penguin Pete and our special guests, the fine folks behind A Blind Bargain, which is a
Mm.
campy remake of a lost Lon Chaney mad scientist film from the 1920s, now set in 1970. I'm going to let you guys go around and briefly introduce yourselves and describe your role or purpose in the film. First,
Well, yes, I'm Paul Bunnell. I played the role of the director. No, actually, I was the director. I wrote, co-wrote, directed, produced the picture.
okay?
And direct from outer space, Jed,
Yeah, hi there. I'm Jed Rowen. I played Logos.
Oh,
Yes.
Hey,
Claudia.
hello, I am Claudia McLeod. I played Stephanie and another role of which I am not, I cannot divulge. You shall see, I guess. Um, an unnamed person. I'm
She
also,
also did all the paintings in the movie.
yes, I also did all the paintings for the movie and the backdrops and the bathtub and all the crazy, crazy weird stuff. So,
Okay, I will say if you go on IMDb and look up the cast, it's going to spoil that mystery performance. But
oh, and our producer always thinks it's, oh, they'll never know. Thanks for telling me that.
um,
I never look at that stuff.
before we get started asking about the movie itself, there's a question I have about your featured actor that's been bothering me for years, and I'd kick myself if I didn't ask it while I had the chance. Is it pronounced Crispin Glover or Crispin Glover?
Glover, Glover.
Glover.
Like hover. To hover is like Glover.
Okay.
Or lover, with a
And
G in front of it.
And he, of
Crispin
course,
Glover.
plays the mad scientist in the film and is the sort of the featured performer, even though he's not really doesn't get the most screen time, but
Mhm.
I'd say he's the draw. Pete,
Yeah, he comes in and out of it. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
Pete, do you have some questions you'd like to ask?
not off the top. Let's just
All right.
keep this moving along. Hmm.
Okay. So,
Claudia, is that your emotional support dinosaur?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Cool. I've got I've got my emotional support penguins here too.
Ah, very
Yay!
good.
And
um,
a skeleton host, of course.
okay.
Aw.
Well, up top, Paul, let's ask about the script, the movie. So this is kind of a remake in a sense of a lost Lon Chaney film. But how much of it did you know the story? How did you know? How did you find this and come to decide you wanted to adapt this?
Well, it was brought to me by a couple of friends who wanted to make a movie, and they turned it into an idea of, based on being Lon Chaney fans. This lost Lon Chaney film. One of the guys actually discovered a lost Lon Chaney film called Triumph. Being film collectors, as we all are, you could see I've got a projector back here. He found a 35 millimeter nitrate print of Triumph starring Lon Chaney. One of the reels had bad decomposition. But yeah, these things sometimes they turn up. Anyway, they thought, oh, the obvious one to do would be London After Midnight, but why don't we do A Blind Bargain? Because that's when they talk about, it's been talked about in books and whatnot. So they just thought it was a cool idea, and they had a script, and the script was not the greatest, but basically what happened was the one guy dropped out as director, and being friends of mine, John Folatico asked if I would do it, and I said yes, I would do it if I could bring in, my team from the previous movie I did, which I did mostly, and and the other thing was I wanted to redo the script, so I brought in a friend of mine, Bing Bailey, who rewrote the story, and he's the one that set it in 1970, turned it into Dominic, lead character, into a Vietnam vet, and all of that stuff. So and a drug addict. So he put more high stakes into it. So when you say, I mean, it's really a reimagining of the 1922 film because there's no one here today who's seen it. It's been gone for years. I mean, maybe there's someone alive who's seen it, but the last print got destroyed in a vault fire in the 60s at MGM. Back in the way in the old days, they used to discard, they would get rid of these old, they call them dinosaurs, just like the one that Claudia has there,
Hmm.
because it's like, well, what are we going to do with a silent film? We have talkies now. But it just kind of came to me, and I liked the idea. I thought I can go with once they set it in 1970. I thought, okay, I've got something to work with, and we didn't exactly copy the story because Chaney plays two roles in the original, whereas Crispin Glover only plays the one. But we wanted to modernize it for today's audiences, yet and give it an aesthetic of the past, of the more recent past, set in 1970. So that's kind of how the whole thing evolved, really. It just came to me.
Mm. Yeah, one thing, and since this wasn't your decision, I'm sure you have an answer for it though. Why relocate it to 1970 specifically?
Well, we thought it was a groovy idea. I thought, really it makes it more interesting because you've got set pieces, costumes, cars, no one had cell phones. So, I mean, it was just a more interesting time for me personally. I always like to shoot films that take place, in the past. So it gave me something to work with, something to, not to make fun of or over exaggerate or use too many cliches. But, I basically was able to take all these elements of the past and weave them into a contemporary type story. And I think we did it quite successfully. And really, it's just more fun. I mean, it gives the audience when you go to the movies, you're taken to another time and place. I mean, I didn't want to tell a story that took place today with familiar settings. I wanted to go somewhere else and take you out of today and drop you into that past, time period.
Okay. If Pete does not have a question yet, I'll
Ah,
you,
well, there is one scene.
Yes.
Okay, now, early on, I'm going to try not to spoil anything for our audience, of course, but there is one scene involving a transaction of a suitcase that turns out to be full of bugs and worms and maggots, I guess. And then we don't see that referenced again. Was that? But I do see bugs in the background in later scenes. So that was part of the scenery, and that was a neat scene, by the way. But anyway,
Right.
did I miss something, or does that
Well,
the suitcase never get referenced again?
well, the suitcase does not. Basically, Jed is in the scene, of course. Also, Claudia's in that scene. She's the one that takes the money during the
Right.
handoff. And interestingly, real quick, a side story, that scene had dialogue, and it was Crispin's idea. He suggested, hey, right before we were going to film it, by the way, why don't we do this scene just as a quiet, exchange, with no dialogue? And I thought, well, okay, that's interesting. So we tried it, and it looked great, and it's one of the more memorable scenes in the film. But
Mhm.
regarding those bugs, we never really quite explain, and that's intentional. I like there to be some ambiguity in the movie. And when it comes to scenes like that, it does have a meaning in the story and to me. These are, what would you call you guys? You're like traders, right? Claudia, you're like some kind of, uh, you know,
I think that we are executing a deal in a very 1960s sort of spy fashion, but you're not quite sure. I think
right.
there's a mystery to it when you think about it. And as an actress, you kind of come up with your own thoughts on things. And in a way, I kind of feel like we are the makers of some mysterious medicine that we know about,
Well,
others may
yes.
not. Well, the doctor obviously does.
I will say that basically the bugs where you think they're going to hand off money, then they open a suitcase and there's bugs. Well, Gruder uses those bugs as part of his ointments and stuff. He
Right.
mashes them up. It's somewhat suggested in the later treatment room scene. We don't really, not to, make excuses, but I didn't really have a lot of time for coverage because it was only an 18-day shoot. I did my best and I did show some of the bugs in one of the vials. But it suggested that Gruder's taking these bugs to use them somehow in his experiments to create this potion or lotion that he's putting on the faces. And it's all very kind of like, it's part medicine, it's part magical. It's really never quite explained. So the
Well,
bugs are used in that.
Paul, should I just look? Pete asked, so I'll just tell him.
Yep.
The briefcase was handed off to me, and I thought they were so cool. I just took it home with me. The prop, I just took it home.
Well, that's true. He still has that suitcase today with all the bugs in it, and we have to get rid of those bugs. Yes, no,
Might
but
as well come clean.
it was a lot of fun. But yeah, that to answer your question, Pete,
They make great bait.
yeah, there you go.
Exactly. I love that.
So, it's suggested, but anyway, it's a weird movie. There's a lot of ambiguity, a lot of things that are unexplained, intentionally so.
Oh,
David
okay.
Lynch used to do that a lot, but I also
Of
like
course.
it. So,
I have a thought. Well, I mean, in the original, it's thought that it's monkey's brains that they use. Is that correct?
well, monkey glands, that was
Monkey
something
glands, that's right.
going
Monkey
back.
glands.
That was a thing back in the 20s.
Right, for
But so anyway, but nothing to do with it. Yeah, so it's some kind of weird thing that they're mixing up, or maybe possibly vaping later, like Pete said.
Right.
What do you think, Jed? Do you have any take on that?
Monkey brains, Claudia, is more of a Temple of Doom thing, I think.
That's true.
That's true.
Monkey butts, does that work?
Oh, I don't know anything about that, but
But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun to do all those scenes. It was a lot of work. We had to make the movie in a very tight shooting schedule. So I'm amazed that we got what we got. But I'm pretty good at that. It was more of an old-fashioned TV type shooting schedule. But I think we made an interesting movie. And you guys both saw it, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you were taught the bug does come back as a sort of symbol in what would be my favorite scene, which would be the laboratory scene you referenced, where it looks like it's suddenly done. It's like Dr. Caligari's laboratory, but there
Right.
are bugs, giant bugs, are
Oh,
rear
yes.
projected in
Yeah,
the
well,
background.
that's when
Yeah.
it starts to get trippy. And yeah, we did put the bugs in there to kind of bring that back. Not that those were supposed to be the bugs from the suitcase, but that we do show them in the vial, and he's putting the ointment on, and but yes, and all those eyeballs that are in there, Claudia drew all those eyes. I wanted it to look like the old UPA animation style from the '60s, and we gave it to our artists, and they animated the eyes because they were just a drawing. The same with the painting of during the hallucination scene in the bathtub with Dominic.
Mm.
That's
And
like
Oh,
five.
yeah, that one.
that's a
I
painting
did
that
like
Claudia did. Yeah.
I did 5 different five different paintings to create that entire scene.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I
So they
wish I
layered it. They were able to
eyeball.
layer it. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Claudia, what other paintings did you do in the film? There's one that's featured, I think, kind of famously, and you gave the idea for the eyeball and some other things, but how much did you
Yeah.
do?
So the chalk drawing that you see on the ground is actually my piece, as well as trying to think all those eyeballs that are moving around, and the 5 paintings that create the background in the tub, some of the bugs in that scene as well. I created, and I'm trying to think. Oh, right. The painting over the safe, which is that kind of creature. I don't want to call him a devil. He's sort of a creature with
Yeah,
stained glass.
that's the main one, right? And then you did the
But
one for the Scrivener.
yeah, I was going to say the one that the Scrivener is holding, although it is very dark during that scene, and then at the ending credits is also mine of the girl in.
That's the same painting that the Scrivener had. Yeah.
Yes, the Scrivener's painting. Yes.
I think it's also over the opening credits, or is that a different painting over
Yeah,
there?
no, that's the same painting over the opening credits. As a matter of fact, I want to say, I don't know where, everybody's located here, but if anybody's in the LA area and they go to the Lemley Theater at the NoHo 7, we've got that original painting on display right now in the theater, in the movie theater. It'll be there for about a month or so, but
It was
the
nice
movie
to see.
will. Yeah, it's there, so you could see that. And then if you go to the New Art Theater, Landmark's New Art, where we're running the movie in 35 millimeter for certain shows, the other painting is on display over there. So it's a lot of fun to kind of see those up close because they're really beautiful. It's beautiful artwork, and
And
I'm
the
very
other
pleased.
painting that the Scrivener has, I actually snuck in some of my grandmother's old jewelry that I have.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a very three-dimensional paint. It's very cool stuff. And Jed, did you paint anything for the film?
Um, no, I mean, but I did go to the Lemley yesterday and check it out, and it's a
Okay.
beautiful display.
Mm.
But no, I mean, I asked Paul, I do some like finger painting, and I wanted to have that be entered in the film, and it just didn't make the cut.
Didn't
So
make it. No, didn't make it.
Well,
Your
Jed,
fingerprint.
let's ask you to explain your character in the film and what he's there for. How does he see this story?
I think Logos is he's like the aide, the helper buddy of Crispin's character, and he's a like a good soldier, but he gets a little bit disillusioned with his role, and he has kind of a complex background, and he's gets a little confused during the movie, but it's a wonderful complex character to sink my teeth into, you know.
Is
And a
it?
very subtle makeup job. We gave him some hair, we extended his
Yeah.
nose and gave him a contact in his eye and put a scar on his face. It looked so natural, even close up. You couldn't even tell. Very good makeup job on
Yeah, as you can tell, there's in regular life I have no hair, so that was all
it.
effects.
Yeah.
And uh when my mom first saw it, she just said, "What did they do to your nose?"
That was great.
And then I had some stuff on my cheek. So it was like a couple hours of effects work, prep.
Hmm.
So
Would it be a spoiler to say that you maybe are a little simple and a little simple, not super
yeah.
simple, but kind
Oh
of
yeah.
develop a crush on another character in the movie?
Yes. Like I say, he's a very confused character. But yes, simple, but complex.
Simple but
Well,
complex.
what's interesting about that is in the old Lon Chaney movies, Chaney, he always played the underdog or the monster, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, Quasimodo or whatever, and he always fell in love with the girl, and he could never get the girl,
Yeah.
and it was sort of this sad thing. He was always pining for this one person. So
Make
Jed
it spicy.
sort of, in a way, represents that Lon Chaney persona, being the Igor type character in this film. So
Yes.
pretty
Yes.
cool.
Pete, you have anything to chime in with?
Oh well, I'm a squeeing fanboy. So Crispin Glover, what's he like? What's it like to work with that guy?
Well, it was great. I mean, he's very private and very focused. He's not a weirdo. He's not, like the eccentric type person. He's not like his characters. He's a very serious artist. I would call him a filmmaker at this point, a filmmaker first, because he's working on his films and directing, and he cares more about that. And he, like
Ah,
myself, we both like to shoot on actual film. And Crispin would come in and, we'd rehearse without the crew around. We wanted to have privacy and block the scene. And then we'd bring everyone in and say, okay, we got it. Let's check it out and let's shoot it. And, I mean, he once told me he gets, how did he put it, stage fright or something, meaning that he just doesn't like to be, doing his process in front of people. He likes to be private. So I gave all the actors, Jed and Claudia and Crispin and everybody, the room to do how they like to work and give them a safe environment. But I guess, Claudia and especially Jed both worked with Crispin as actors, so you could tell
Yeah.
Pete what it was like to work with Crispin.
Well, Crispin was very surprisingly transparent and down to earth. He told me too that he really needs to focus and concentrate and can't have any extraneous noise around. And I really respect that because as an actor, uh, I really need to focus too, and I really need to concentrate, and there needs to be quiet. And it was nice to see someone of his stature still have to have those kind of conditions. And, usually an actor like that, they're not going to tell you what their vulnerabilities are or whatever. And he was just very surprisingly candid about all that. And it was very refreshing.
Yeah,
A
he was
big
pretty
actor.
friendly. He was also
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
and a
Oh, very
nice.
friendly. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed working with him. I mean, I see that exactly what you're saying, Jed, and seeing him go through things like that, and he was very cordial to people too. I think the whole thing that there's this persona or idea of a person because they play all these different roles, but he's a professional. He's a really cool person. I really enjoyed different things he would say when he was walking around, and he would talk to me about my hairstyle as a character and things like that. And yeah, I really enjoyed working with him. But Jed, you had so many more scenes with him, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he one time actually we were waiting to go on, and he I was kind of leaving him alone, and he just kind of randomly brought up, hey, I looked at your IMDb and you have all these credits. And I'm like, oh, cool. So he kind of initiated a conversation about being impressed with my filmography. So that was nice. So he's just a pleasant guy to be around.
Yeah,
I
he
think
yeah.
the scene with where they took the he took those lines out. I really think that scene was so good without the lines. Like, I couldn't help but feel like this is wonderful. It really conveys silent movies in a way, and it really is a powerful, mysterious scene. I do feel bad for John, however, curious because of his line being taken out, but at the same time he was very apologetic about that. He didn't need to be apologetic about it, but like the scene went over so much better without the lines.
Yeah, there was one of the guys in the group with Claudia, Sean Whalen, and John Carius. Sean and Claudia had dialogue later in the script, but John, that was his only scene,
I know, and I love John. He's amazing.
So anyway, so he got cut, but that's what you do. But we made the scene better. So again, thanks to Crispin. So.
And regarding Crispin, I have to say, Pete and I have commented on this before. He's actually, I think, older than all of us, but he looks younger than all of us. So we're wondering if he's actually taken an immortality serum, a real life.
You never know. Well, I know he's a year younger than I am.
Oh,
and yeah, I'm 1 year older. But yeah, he does look great. As a matter of fact, that was his real hair in the movie. A lot of people ask me, "Is that a wig?" No, he wanted to initially wear a wig and do everything. We tried it and it didn't look right, so they just styled his hair. He's got a good, healthy head of hair, unlike my friend Jed over here. Oh well, there you go. And Pete,
Yeah,
well,
Pete too.
Well,
This is aerodynamic over here. Come on.
Pete, you've got hair. It's just a little lower. It just fell onto your
Yeah,
chin.
it's just my head's on upside down. That's what it is. I've actually got hair.
So yeah, but anyway.
I was kind of surprised that he's a lot bigger than I thought he would be. Taller than me. And
Oh, yeah.
big guy.
Kind of tall, yeah.
I wasn't really expecting that.
Yeah, it was it was an interesting thing. Whenever he was on the set, we were definitely always on our A game, Not that I wasn't on the other days, but it's like I wanted everything to go right and I wanted everybody to be pleased and it's just everything worked out, I again going back to Crispin right now is a filmmaker first, and I think he's very choosy about what roles he does. I'll tell you, he didn't do this for the money, I'll tell you that. He did it because he liked the project. He told me that he turns down much bigger offers or bigger films because he just doesn't like the script or what have you, but he liked this. He wouldn't have been in this movie if he didn't want to be in this movie. Trust me. He really he got behind this project. So, that says a lot right there. And he never phoned it in. He was always 100% concentrated and he was that character. So really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's Crispin Glover approved, which is a big selling point.
Yes.
But would you talk about, in the time we have left, a few of the other actors that are not with you today and are not Crispin Glover that were in the film, because there were some good names there.
Yeah. Well, we have our lead was Dominic was played by Jake Horowitz, and Jake was in a lot. He's been in a lot of movies, including a fun movie pre-COVID cult movie called the Vast of Night. I don't know if you guys have seen
Yes,
that one.
I've seen it.
Yeah, he's the lead in that, and you would never know it's the same guy playing Dominic in our film. Anyway, wonderful young actor, very very great actor. And then we had Amy Wright playing his mother. Amy's been in some classic movies in the '70s, like the original Amityville Horror, and a picture directed by John Huston called Wise Blood, and she was in
Woody Allen.
the Deer Hunter, Stardust Memories, Woody Allen, all of these movies, right?
Breaking
And
Away. Breaking Away.
well,
Remember that?
there's that. If you like that picture, yeah, I think Jed likes that movie. And wonderful actress to work with. She was married to Rip Torn. So then the younger version is played by Annalisa Cochrane. Annalisa is best known right now for a show called Cobra Kai,
Hmm.
and she's a reoccurring character on that show. I mean, if they're still doing, I think they're still doing the show, right?
No, I think it's
And
over.
yeah, and then we have Sean Whalen, who's been in things like People Under the Stairs and Twister, and Sean worked with Claudia. They were like paired together the whole time. So whenever you saw Sean, you saw Claudia and driving the car. Sean didn't have a lot of dialogue either, but of course some of his lines got cut in that one scene with Crispin. But he's always interesting to look at. He's a fascinating character actor.
He might be in
And
here hiding somewhere.
huh?
He might be in here hiding somewhere. We don't know.
Well, he might be in there now. I mean, if he is, I should know about it. But anyway, yeah, who else? I mean, there's so many good people. Lucy Lokan. I mean,
Oh yeah.
she was wonderful. I knew her mother. Going way back before she was even born. So she was always on my radar, and I thought, oh, she's the right age. I wonder if she would. Be good for this thing. I auditioned her. She was wonderful, so I put her in the film. But she's been in a lot of television stuff, I think. She works a lot in television, but she loved doing this thing because she always wanted to be in a '70s period thing. So I think she really, really enjoyed it. And so many others, right? I mean, are we leaving anybody out?
Yeah.
I think we got most
Jake
of them.
Oh
Horowitz
my God.
especially.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rob Mays. Let me just say this.
Oh yeah, Rob.
Rob Mays. He played Vincent, the drug dealer. He was in John Dies at the End, the Don Coscarelli film. He played John. And he's in
Oh.
so many movies. And he's just so fun to work with because that drug dealer was written as a straight mean guy, but when he came and started doing the way he was doing it, it just was so fun and funny kind of that it just became a totally different character. So I had to give him a pink house. I thought that would
Paul, far out.
far out, right?
Who are you missing?
Well, far out. Well, the guy in the beginning, you guys know Phantasm, right? The movie Phantasm.
course.
Well, the opening of Don Coscarelli, the director, is a friend of mine, so I wanted to put an homage to Phantasm, a little Easter egg. So Bing came up with this idea actually to put the Newton's Cradle, those little spheres, those balls, and the hippie in the opening of the film is Bill Thornbury, who was the older brother in the Phantasm films. And so it was cool to have him do a little cameo. We were going to extend that more with a drilling sound, but we ran out of time that day. So
He's a great guy. Really.
he's a very super nice guy. Yeah.
Everybody.
And-
I love everybody we worked with.
But
so much.
everybody, there's so many character actors and things, but I love getting good people in the film, and everyone is good, and Claudia and Jed and Claudia also are good.
Yeah. Jake, darn, Horowitz.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah. He really impressed my socks off as a lead guy. He is so watchable. He
Oh,
has
yeah.
really magnetic screen presence, and he pulled off the character kind of balance because it's an underdog character, but it doesn't make him just a sniveling wimp or an evil scoundrel. He's kind of morally challenged by the situation, and you can see him kind of work with it a little bit and adapt. He really pulls the character off. So yeah, I'm dying to see him in more stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
We saw him in a play out here. It was amazing.
Yeah, he
God,
did a
yeah.
play. Yeah, he's a
He was so
really
good.
fantastic actor. I predict he's going to be a name actor at some point. If he just keeps doing, working his way up. But he's good. I'll tell you, he's really good. I got lucky. And when I was looking at the people submitted to me for this character, they were sending me pictures of these kind of scraggly looking, but he had a face that I really liked. He looked kind of almost a little innocent and not, and I thought, yeah, this guy is interesting, so I met with him over Zoom, and sure enough, we just clicked, and there you have it. I like to cast, well, anyway, I'm very particular, as you know. I'll even put Jed in a movie occasionally. So
Jed
Jed's
is
been in two of my
amazing.
films. By the way,
Yeah.
Jed was in The Ghastly Love of Johnny X, which was my 35 millimeter sci-fi musical shot in black and white. And Jed played a Sluggo in that, and he plays logos in this. So
I like to say that with Johnny X and A Blind Bargain, I've been in two once in a lifetime movies.
well, let's make it three, shall we? When I do my next one.
You're amazing, Jed. I loved working with you.
Oh, Claudia,
And
the
Johnny,
pleasure was all mine. But multi-talented Claudia is.
Yeah.
She had a role in the movie too that was not talked about yet. But
Oh,
Just in the background, yeah. Just a little Easter egg. So yeah, I want to, guys, so you saw the movie. Thank you for watching it. It's one of those things that it just sort of like it grabs you, makes you think about stuff. It's not a horror film really. It's just it's a weird, it's kind of a weird think piece. It's a psychological drama. It's different. You go in thinking it's going to be one thing and it turns out to be something else. And the theatrical presentations are quite good. It's a totally different presentation when you can hear our amazing sound mix. And I just want to say, for any of you guys, we're giving away free tickets, complimentary tickets to any of the theaters right now. We're in the AMC theaters. Did you know this? We just got into.
good.
We're in Denver, Houston, Philadelphia, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Washington, D.C. All of those AMC theater locations, and not only also we're in Los Angeles at the Laemmle, the Laemmle Town Center, and the NoHo, and we're also at the Landmarks New Art Theater, which I had films there when I was like 19 years old back in 1982. So it's been a long time to going back to the New Art. It's a beautiful theater. That's the theater that made Eraserhead and Rocky Horror Picture Show a cult movie with their midnight screenings. So I'm looking forward to that this weekend. We're going to do Q&As, but I wanted to let you know how to get these free tickets. If you go to our website, while the tickets are available, we have a limited supply for each theater. Go to ablindbargainmovie.com. You can go and look for the theater if it's in your neighborhood, and you can get up to 4 tickets. So check it out. I'm giving you that little first-hand information here. Late
we're
breaking.
probably going to be doing prints of the paintings as well. So that'll be
cool.
eventually. I'm not sure exactly when that's happening, but there'll be some prints of the paintings.
Yeah, so in Los Angeles this weekend we're doing our Q&As, and then also the Laemmle this coming next week. So we're excited, and we hope that any of your watchers or listeners will be able to make it. And again, with this free ticket offer, you can't beat that with a stick, or maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe.
All right. Well, thanks. That helped. My second to last question is always, where can you see this
Mhm.
right now? And I assume that it will be after the theatrical run, that it'll be VOD and physical media.
Correct. We're going to give it about a 60-day window. Okay. AMC theaters wanted that. So we're giving a 60-day window before we do any VOD, but it will ultimately live in, on video on demand and on our Blu-ray special edition that we're putting together.
Okay.
We don't have the distributor named yet. We haven't announced that, but we'll announce all of that on our website.
Okay, in the last little 4.5 minutes, we do have a last final question we'd like to ask everybody. You'll have to go a little fast since there are
Okay.
3 of you, but the question is, what is your hometown and can you recommend a restaurant there?
Well, let me tell you right off the bat, my hometown is Burbank, California, and I will always recommend Bob's Big Boy, the original home of the double-decker hamburger. You guys are not from California, right?
I'm from parts unknown, but I'm LA. I'm all California, LA. So come visit in LA. And
What's your favorite restaurant, Jed? We'll come back to you. We only have 3 minutes. Claudia, what do you like?
I used to love Po Folks and the Bubble Room, and they no longer exist. But I do like Buca de Beppo, but that's everywhere now. The
But
Bubble Room.
where
That was Florida, actually.
you know what's interesting? Both Claudia and Jed, if I may say so, are both from
Right.
Florida originally. So,
Actually, I grew up a lot of different places, but we wound up mainly in Florida. But yeah.
and she's still growing up. So, aren't we all?
I can tell from your accent that you're from Florida, Claudia.
You can?
That's a Florida accent.
Hey, you guys from where are you guys from, real quick? Since we're
Yeah,
I'm originally.
Oh, go on, Pete.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm originally from Southern California myself. I was born and raised out there, but then I moved to the Midwest. I'm in Iowa now.
Oh, nice.
I
Okay,
need snow.
I love
great. Great. Iowa's stubborn, as they said in The Music Man, right?
Damn stubborn.
And how about you, Greg?
Well, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, where we just finished up a big race, and I
Wow.
do. If you're ever here, I do recommend you try the Mayan Cafe in New Lou, which is a kind of
Okay, I've been through Kentucky. They make great fried chicken out there. I'll tell you that.
we have.
You
It's
know
kind
what,
of a
the
central.
Enzion.
Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say the Enzion Theater has some very good food still. There's so many places that are gone now. It's so sad, but I like the Enzion Theater. They have some good food and wine and stuff there.
If
Hey,
I
Jed, I know
go
what
to-
Jed likes. Jed likes potatoes.
If I ever go to Kentucky, I'm going to go visit some bourbon places. You
There you
know.
go.
Oh yeah.
We do have a few of those. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there are just a few. I'm actually going to have a smoked old fashioned later tonight. So
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm a
bring it
bourbon
out
person. I
in a
love
big-
my bourbon.
Yes.
they
I'm
bring
big
it
fan.
out in a big wooden box with smoke
Ooh.
coming out of it, and the drink absorbs some of the smoke flavor. So
Cool.
I would recommend those. You can get those at a lot of different places.
Oh, by the way, real quick, I love your background, Greg. You've got the Dr. Calig. Is that the
It
Caligari, the German Express? Yes, very, very nice. That was
It
an
is.
inspiration for that one scene in Blind Bargains. So
I
The
know
the movie.
And Pete, I love your background. I have many bookcases in my.
Oh yeah, and this is a real thing though. This whole thing moves. So
but you know what, Jed? In space, no one could hear you read.
oh yeah.
Jed wrote a
We
book, by the
have our
way.
own books here too, by
Yes.
the way.
Oh,
Jed
Jed
wrote
a
an
book
amazing book. Oh my gosh,
Oh.
I have it right here.
called Discovery, right? Claudia's going to
Yeah.
plug it real quick.
Discovery. This
Bring it up
book
quickly.
This book is
Oh
so
my
good.
God! Look at
Jed
that.
wrote that.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I love reading. I have look, Paul lives with me. He's in his office right now, but the books, it's like they're coming to get him. There's so many books here. It's too much. But this book is so good. I
Oh,
recommend reading
thanks.
this. It's
I'm
amazing.
There you
flattered.
go.
Thanks,
So
Claudia.
fun.
Well, anyway,
Very
well,
true,
cool.
really.
This has been a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on, and maybe your next project we'll have you on again talking about another cult actor that you've roped into.
I guarantee it. I've worked with Bob Hope, Kevin McCarthy. I've worked with some really
Bob!
Paul Williams. I worked with some really cool
Paul
people.
Williams. Oh,
Oh, I love Paul. Paul was in Johnny X, and Bob Hope was in a movie I did in the early '90s. It was more of a cameo at the end of the thing, but so anyway, I love working with these great old